Now this one is interesting. We are touring a $555,000 home here in Gilbert, Arizona. We are in Southeast Gilbert, kind of by the Loop 202, Santan Village Mall, Agritopia area. We are right in what I would say is in the thick of things, being in Gilbert. But the interesting part of this home is it's a 3-bedroom for $555,000, and what's happening is it's currently not selling. They're looking for feedback and they're looking to get an idea for why. I think there's a couple interesting things happening with this property that I want to show you as I help guide you along the differences in the Gilbert market. So the first thing is, this house feels grand. It feels massive. You can see these big, tall ceilings behind me. Look how tall these are. And behind me, you're gonna see the same exact thing. You're gonna have your pretty standard living room area, but now you're also gonna get these massive ceilings with your external lights to make sure that it is light and bright. Following that, you're going to have your own grand entrance, which in Gilbert, this is somewhat rare. Seeing a massive staircase right out the side, massive tall windows, and it feels super grand when you walk in. The neighborhood, we are in Crossings at Crossroads, which really just rolls right off the tongue. Crossings at Crossroads. It lines a train track, which is why I believe that's a thing. But this home, it's only a 3-bedroom. For $555,000, you might need a little more space for your family. The 3 bedrooms just might not cut it for what you're looking for. The other thing that I think is interesting on this home is kind of the way you use the space. It feels massive, but unless you need a proper formal dining room, you might not know exactly what to do with some of this kitchen space. None of that's a bad thing. It's just all price dependent. And I think what's happening is it's indicative of the market. If this home were on the market, call it 2022, 2021, it likely would have sold first day. It's nice. It's got nice quartz countertops, upgraded stainless steel appliances. The whole floor has, I believe, brand new LVP throughout, upgraded bathrooms, big size closets. Everything on paper points to this home being really nice. But in this new market, there are more particular buyers. It is a different set of pool that is now shopping with a 6 or 7% rate. It is going to be a different kind of buyer than it was in 2022 when there was only 3 weeks or less of inventory for homes at any moment. Now there are months and months of homes that you can choose from. So it's interesting that homes like these are now sitting, but it shows you that there's opportunity in the market. Now, I want to show you this home in particular, the Crossings at Crossroads. It's not a neighborhood that may be showcased often, but look at the size of this lot. This is by far one of the biggest Gilbert neighborhoods that you can get today because of the way that they're building. Every new home that's popping up in Gilbert, because there's so little land left, they have to build them closer and closer. This one, I believe, actually has an RV gate as well, which I wouldn't say is necessarily rare in Gilbert, but still cool to see nonetheless. The new homes are tighter. You can see your neighbors really close. There isn't a lot of breathing room. So seeing a home like this can be a little refreshing. So I want to walk around. I want to show you the neighborhood outside. And if you're thinking about moving here or you're thinking about getting a feel for what Arizona's really like when it's not just a traditional home tour with great editing and all the fancy accoutrements that you would normally see, I want to show you that. I want to show you the real life Gilbert, a little less edited. We can talk about things. We can answer questions. We can be a little more in-depth in how we do it. So I'll see you in the neighborhood. And I can see the home right here. And as we're walking away, this is kind of what I wanted to show you. You can see that there are these massive fence lines in this neighborhood for a lot of these lots, especially the ones that are more on the edge where you have no neighbors behind you. Stuff like this is just super rare to find in Gilbert. It's not something that you're gonna see in every single home just because of the amount of space I was talking about before. Another thing I want to talk about is where this home's located and kind of give you a feel for how this relates to other things of Gilbert. So right now you are in the southeast curve of the 202. And this has a pro and a con for this home in particular. The pro would be that you're in Gilbert. If you're a buyer, you're on the southeast side, which typically means that you're gonna have some savings. In this Santan Village pocket, homes are typically less expensive than other areas like the Islands or Val Vista Lakes. But that also means that you have the train tracks. And this home in particular, I think, suffers from that, and why maybe it's not selling, and why it's indicative of the market today. The train tracks on this home, if you're in the neighborhood, you can't actually cross conveniently to go further north, to go into the Agritopia area that I would be so happy to live in, obviously. Big fan of this channel. But you can't cross just to go drive over there. You have to kind of finagle your way down Williams Field, which is now going to be the busiest road. If you're moving here to Arizona, Williams Field is going to be one of the busiest roads in Gilbert because it's that mall path. Then, let's say you want to get up to the north part where you're going into Higley in the 202. Now you have to figure out navigation there. So this neighborhood, you do get bigger lots and you do get a lot more accoutrements. You can hear kids playing if it's screaming. Trust me, they're playing. A lot of new toys. I'm filming this right after Christmas, so you can see some people still have their Christmas decorations up. You can see some candy canes all the way down the lane there. You can see some snowmen here. So it can be a little more chaotic, especially during the season. Another thing that I want to showcase for you is actually how the Gilbert neighborhoods look. So as you can see, I'm walking around a bunch of big, beautiful trees. It's kind of a cloudy-ish day today, so it gives you a good example of what it would look like on a December day. We have a lot of these. We have a lot more rain. You can see that there's a lot of pretty clean finishes. This floor plan in particular, you're gonna see a lot of in Arizona. You can see it a handful of times in this neighborhood alone. There's a lot of standard Gilbert classics that you'll see. So as I kind of wrap up this video, this is my first one of this style. So it's probably long and drawn out and a lot of information you didn't care about. Probably not nearly as many jokes as I would have normally had. My hair is a little funky, and all that's okay. If you like this more raw and uncut version of exploring these Gilbert neighborhoods, let me know. I'll make sure to get some footage for you of how the rest of the neighborhood looks. And if you have any neighborhoods in particular that you want to see, make sure you comment them down below. Now, before we end this video, I want to give you a couple things. One, should you buy a home in crossings at crossroads? That will be a question up to you based on what you've seen so far today. In my opinion, if you want a little bit larger of a lot, this might be a good fit for you. But if you need a little bit more bedrooms, you want a little bit more of a classic Gilbert neighborhood with a little less spacing, you want a little more trees, a little more greenery, maybe you even want more of a stucco tile home, then this one won't be for you. If you want something a little more brick, a little more East Coast vibe, a little bit bigger lots, then this neighborhood might be a good fit. That's also assuming that you like the location. The location, you're gonna be, again, by Santan Village Mall. If you work in Tempe, if you work in Chandler, those are gonna be two different types of opinions for you. Chandler, you can take the 202 there and get there in ease. If you work in Scottsdale, Phoenix, or Tempe, this might not be the neighborhood for you. And I don't say the crossings at crossroads in particular, but somewhere that's in that southeast Santan Village area. You might have a little bit more of a commute than you'd be willing to take. It's gonna be around 30 to 45 minutes. But if you work in Mesa, you work in Gilbert, you work in Chandler, I think you'd love this area. I personally live in the Santan Village area near Cooley Station. I think the area is fantastic, and I think it's definitely a good pickup. Now, this home priced at $555, it hasn't sold yet, so indications say that it is overpriced in the market. If you're looking for a great value home, you're looking for a great deal, there are a lot on the market. And it takes looking at ones like this and a couple of the other ones in the surrounding area to truly decide what's the best fit for you. Now, this was Cole with Living Phoenix Metro, and I hope to see you in the next video. Peace.